This is the Stream of Consciousness live stream. This episode is Rapid Unscheduled Disassembly. Hey, how's it going? This is Kevin. Let's talk about SpaceX, Starship, and the, I wouldn't call it a failure, but the explosion of the first launch of the fully assembled Starship spacecraft. Let's just go ahead and get in there right now. As you see here in the New York Times, the massive Starship rocket explodes after launch. SpaceX calls it a win. Now, let's take a look at that. It was actually pretty spectacular, honestly. I was really concerned, probably from the moment of launch, that it wasn't Watch. Okay, see that right there? We've got debris coming up, and it doesn't look like it was necessarily something that came off the side of the rocket like ice. Something was ejected from the ground. So that was when I first saw that, I didn't think.
Zero post-launch flight operations. Booster after chamber pressure is nominal.
43 seconds into the test flight of the inaugural Starship vehicle. Tower cleared, we're into pitch over. Propulsion reports first stage engines nominal. What a sight when the ground cameras at Starbase. We're flying at twice the thrust of the Saturn V heading to space.
Acquisition signal, surface 50.
We're throttled down and throttled back up.
Oop. Lost the fifth engine.
Going through the period of maximum aerodynamic pressure. As the velocity increases, the density of the atmosphere is decreasing,
Max Q.
lessening stress on the vehicle. The call out, max Q now. Continuing to watch the first stage as we head down range. 100 seconds into flight. Our next major activity is going to be set down of the first stage.
Now, right about here is where I started like, okay, this seemed weird to me. As the rocket's rising, you notice how the plume is not exactly parallel with the ship. It's expanding outward more so on one side than the other. Now, because of wind patterns and whatnot, I wasn't necessarily concerned about that, but it caught my attention. I'm like, I wonder what's going on there.
Station now acquiring the vehicle.
It almost looks like it's sliding.
With shutdown, we will get separation of Starship and Super Heavy.
Now there, right about here,
and ignition of the Starship engines.
Something's not
when Starships,
and you can see, look at this plume that's going out.
Separates. We light up 6 engines in the.
And then you can actually see underneath right here where the directional nozzles are starting to actually try to correct the attitude of
staggered sequence. If all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5.
And you can, let's go back just a little bit here.
The Starship engines.
Watch it.
When Starship separates, we light up 6 engines in a staggered sequence. If all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5 minutes. Onboard view from Starship. And there's views of the Raptor engines on the second stage as we prepare for stage separation.
But now look at
after stage
the
separation,
attitude
the
of
first
the
stage
craft
will
is
flip
tilting
and begin a boost back maneuver for landing in the Gulf.
a lot right now. And now you start to see it. It's boom, look at it. Look at the attitude down here.
Continuing
They
to fly.
already know
2 minutes 40
something is
seconds.
wrong.
Let's get ready for main engine cutoff.
This right here tells you what's happening is the as the rocket is going up, it's actually the direction of travel is this way, but the rocket is this way. So the plume is wrapping around.
Booster engine cutoff.
Beginning the flip
we've
for
got-
stage separation.
We got lots of trouble here. Very obvious. Then the rocket actually now completely spinning around. And if you were not aware just by watching this video by this 3-minute point, this is not going to reach space, then you really aren't experienced at rocket launches at all. It literally did a 360 right here. It's lost altitude. Now it's going back down. Or it may not be going down. It could be moving laterally, but the rocket
As of right
itself,
now, we
the
are
body
awaiting stage separation,
is
where Starship should
not
separate
moving
from the super heavy
in
booster.
the direction it should at all.
Yeah, Kate, right now it looks like we saw the start of the flip, but obviously we're seeing from the ground cameras the entire Starship stack continuing to rotate. We should have had separation by now. Obviously, this is does not appear to be a nominal situation.
Yeah, it does appear to be spinning, but I do want to remind everyone that everything after clearing the tower was icing on the cake.
And there is the rapid, unscheduled disassembly.
And there, as you saw, as we promised, an exciting end to the Starship inaugural integrated test flight.
Now, one of the things that you're going to find quite a bit online, Twitter and whatnot, is insults thrown at Elon Musk. And these are the type of people that explain why much of our scientific advancement has stalled. Any point of failure is seen as a reason not to try. It's it's unfortunate that we have people like that. Let's go back here. As the she makes a point here of saying that that anything past the tower was icing on the cake. You literally have people.
As of right now, we are awaiting stage separation, where Starship should separate from the super heavy booster.
Yeah, Kate, right now it looks like we saw the start of the flip, but obviously we're seeing from the ground cameras the entire Starship stack
shouldn't
continuing to
have flipped
rotate. We should have had
with the
separation
whole
by now.
ship
Obviously,
in one
this
stack.
is does not appear to be a nominal situation.
Nope, not
Yeah,
nominal.
it does appear to be spinning, but I do want to remind everyone that everything after clearing the tower was icing on the cake.
Everything after clearing the tower was icing on the cake. And that is the true point. They just wanted to get this thing off the ground. They've proven they can get it off the ground. Now they just need to work out whatever issue caused this. There could be a multitude of issues. It could have something to do with losing 5 engines. It could have something to do with the airfoils they have off the side that, and sorry about that. It could have something to do with the airfoils that they have off the side that are meant for the reentry of the booster stage to help guide it down. Now, there's a multitude of things that could have happened. I honestly think that something might have happened to the engines right at launch, because you see it right in here. Right there. Look at all that. Look at that debris that's thrown out. Something came up off the landing pad and was pushed up by the blasts of the engine. And some of that debris may have hit something underneath the craft and caused some damage that that resulted in what we see.
Zero post-launch flight operations. Booster after chamber pressure is nominal.
See that right there? That something went wrong right there. And in fact,
Booster after chamber pressure is nominal.
see the debris that went flying? My guess is that one of the rockets, or more than one, became damaged. I mean, we have 3 that aren't working right here. Now, it's designed to lose a few on the way up. And that resulted in some type of system failure that kept the upper portion from separating from the bottom portion. It appears, and I need to go ahead and look, compute the number of seconds, because I think it was supposed to separate about 150 seconds into the flight. And that for one reason or another, the rocket started to lose its attitude control. So the nozzles, the swiveling nozzles on the bottom, were trying to align it, correct it. And I noticed that at about 1 minute, 2 minutes in.
Starship separates.
Right.
We light up 6 engines in a staggered sequence. If all goes well, those 6 engines will burn for almost 6.5 minutes. Onboard view from Starship. And there's views of the Raptor engines on the second stage as we prepare for stage separation. After stage separation, the first stage will flip and begin a boost back maneuver for landing in the Gulf.
Change its attitude. And you can see on this indicator down here at the bottom, its attitude, and just flips. So at this juncture right here, at 2 minutes 35 seconds, it was a lost cause. It was never going to reach orbit. Now, to be fair, they were only going to, the booster was going to drop in the ocean. The ship itself was only going to make 1 orbit around and then drop in the ocean. So I'm not being generous to say that this was a successful test. They're going to learn an awful lot about this craft in this test, and it's going to make for a safer craft in the long run. Now, just to harp on Ben Collins
continuing
and the
to fly,
others,
2 minutes 40 seconds. Let's get ready for main engine cutoff.
With Schadenfreude insulting Elon Musk.
Beginning the flip for stage separation.
See, I honestly think that the lower booster's acting like it's already happened, the stage separation. So it's trying to do its turnaround and spin back to slow down its rate of climb, so that it can go back to the landing pad and set down. But the Starship is still attached to it. That's not supposed to happen, because I'm pretty darn certain by 252 the separation should have happened by now. But yeah, this ain't good. Not good at all. It rotates completely. Not good at all. But good thing they did it with nobody in it. In the first initial test, I think getting it off the launch pad was a small victory. If they would have got it to orbit, it would have been, you would have seen a lot of ecstatic people at SpaceX today, but I think they're going to be pretty happy they just got it past the launch pad. So don't let the naysayers fool you. SpaceX has been down this path before. I remember when the first time the Falcon 9, the reusable version, it failed. And God, the naysayers. I can remember clear back into like 2003, 2005 when Elon Musk first proposed a reusable rocket. You can't do that. It can't be done. If it could be done, NASA would have done it before. Russia would have done it. You can't do it. I literally read people arguing that. And to be fair, none of them were rocket scientists, but I have quite a bit of belief that I don't want to use the word faith, because faith implies there's no evidence. But I believe, based on the evidence, SpaceX will pull this off. And this is a large rocket. It's one of the largest. Well, I won't say it's the largest rocket. Let's compare just for a sec here. Just in sheer size. Find an image here. There we go. This is Saturn. This is Starship. Look at the size differential. It's huge in comparison. Well, I wouldn't say it's just a huge, but it's definitely bigger in comparison to the Saturn V. So I have confidence that SpaceX is going to pull this off and we'll get this going. But the naysayers online, the people in the media who genuinely just find this as a way to insult Elon Musk, don't listen to them. They are naysayers who they don't have the intellect to do anything other than be a journalist. And there's a quote by Heinlein. It's the good luck quote. Or bad luck, I'm sorry. I think it's really apropos at this juncture. Throughout history, poverty is the normal condition of man. Advances which permit this norm to be exceeded here and there, now and then, are the work of an extremely small minority, frequently despised, often condemned, and almost always opposed by all right-thinking people. Whenever this tiny minority is kept from creating, or as sometimes happens, is driven out of society, the people then slip back into abject poverty. This is known as bad luck. The United States is on the precipice of bad luck. the whole push to sideline meritocracy and go with diversity inclusion will, by its very nature, include people who don't have the merit to make decisions or do things of value for society. That does not mean you just give people like Elon Musk a free hand to do anything they want, but to demonize, to belittle, and try to drive out of society people with the foresight and the intellect and the leadership to create things like SpaceX shouldn't ever be taken lightly. They should always be encouraged to do these kinds of things, even if they are kind of, Howard Hughes-ish and a little bit crazy. Some of their ideas will be too crazy, and engineering will prove that. But and ultimately, that is the ultimate arbiter of what should be called permissible or what is crazy and what isn't crazy, is the engineering. The engineering supports this. We just got to test it and work out all the bugs and make it happen. The naysayers, don't listen to them. They are feeding you a line of bullshit. All right, peace out.